Peter, Temita, wonderful to have you here in the studio with us today. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing at the moment.
At the moment, I'm a minister at St. Giles Presbyterian Church in Te Aratu. I've been there for almost 4 years now, so it's been a great journey.
And we'll talk a little bit more about your work in the church coming up. But I met you almost 12 years ago, which is a long time, Peter.
Yes.
It feels like a long time, but it was great.
Yes.
When Shine TV started in the very beginning, in fact, I actually think you were connected to Shine even before I came along. Tell us about your involvement with Shine and how that happened.
It had a lot to do with being given an opportunity to express ourselves, you know, as a group of Polynesians. The other great thing that connecting with Rima, getting involved in some of their things that they were doing at the time. And then an opportunity came up for Shine TV to start, and managed to catch up with yourself and Dennis Delaney. It just unfolded. It just happened really quickly. Yep. But it was a great time. It was a great adventure.
Now, of course, it must have been very exciting, you know, you having a heart for mission and evangelism, to see a Christian channel here in New Zealand, because we really need it, don't we?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, the material that's there covers a broad range of demographics and people that need to hear the gospel. And I think that was one of the strongest attractions for me, was the fact that it gave so many people a broad scope in terms of being, not only getting exposure, but the gospel that people can relate to who's on the screen at the time. And so that was a huge benefit for me, that we were able to not only encourage our young people, but the fact that we could be who we are. I mean, it was kind of funny nowadays, a lot of people using creative dance and dances and things, when those days I recall first going out and doing some of these dances, some of the people looked at you sideways, what are you doing this in church type thing?
Yeah.
So it was a huge transition from now getting that exposure for people saying, okay, hey, we can use our gifts, the arts, to preach the gospel.
Now, of course, I know you've got a very pastoral heart, and you're involved with all sorts of other ministry as well. And as a pastor, you know, you can only do so much on a Sunday. It's great knowing that Shine is there for the rest of the week, in the middle of the night, first thing in the morning, and that must be, that's a great comfort for everyone, isn't it?
It's great, and you come across people who would say, well, you know, I've listened to certain programs, and you know that they're getting some of this material from somewhere. So, you know, having a Christian channel enables people to have an alternative, you know, rather than just looking at the same old channels, but something that is specifically to us, that's bringing the gospel. And there are great teachings on the program, and I know that for me personally, there now and then you sort of go through your own little journey in your lull, and somehow you turn on Shine and there's something there that hits you straight away, and you're thinking, yes, Lord, I needed that right now. So that's the beauty about having something that you know, 24/7 you can tap into, that the word of God can still be spoken to you.
And I think there's even a bigger need now, because media is bigger and louder and faster, and it seems to be coming from all kinds of directions.
Sure.
We need it sort of now more than ever before, don't we?
Yeah, we do now, because we've got to still be distinctive in who we are. I think sometimes we get into a position where we kind of blend into the social environment and become more, well, I wouldn't say normal, but, you know, you go with the flow. Where I think there still should be a place for us as within the Christian media to be distinctive, but yet not compromise who we are. And I think Shine has done that well. And yet at the same time we're open, because we're not an island, and so there's an openness there for us to explore new things. So it's not all about just us, but there are other things around the world that we need to explore.
Well, people who are watching at the moment, not sure if they should give or support Shine, what would you say to them?
I think it would be one of the best investments if you were going to get involved. Can you imagine if we didn't have a Christian channel, or, you know, a Christian network? You know, a lot of us would. I remember hearing somebody say one day that Rima was like the lifeline that kept New Zealand on track, and I totally believe that, because it's a voice, it's an unseen voice that you just turn on and it just comes on. And I think any opportunity that we have to make that still active and alive, I think it'll be a detriment not to support it. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Peter. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me, Laura. Good to see you again.
You too.
Thank you.